Hi guys, it's StarryNight. Today I decided to join the 35th International Illustration Contest for Clip Studio Paint. I thought that it was a great way to start this YouTube channel because, well, I get to show my skills and show you guys how my style and my personality is. So, I wanted to join this a lot because I usually don't get the chance to join contests, and it also seemed really cool. Actually, it started a couple of days ago. The rules were enter in your original illustrations on the theme of magic. Entry period, March 20, April 11th, 2023. Now, this was really great because I got to showcase my skills and stuff. So the idea I went for was a cat holding up a rabbit outside of a hat. And I thought that was a really cute idea because, of course, that's basically the original thing of magic and it's really classic, so I decided to go with that idea. This isn't the first time I join a contest. I've joined a contest on an app that's called Pixel Art. It's on the webcam browser and also in the description below if you want to check it out. But it was a Halloween contest and the prize was a Nintendo. It turned out that they canceled it midway, so we never got to know who the winner was. So yeah, basically this is the first time I join an official contest. I was having a lot of trouble with drawing the arm. You can see with some green lines that I tried to make them the same size, but it really doesn't look like that. Also, the position in which it was seemed really uncomfortable for the cat. I was humanizing the cat too much, I guess. And then I ended up making a really weird and crooked arm. You'll see later. For the bunny, I wanted him to be angry from being lifted up from the hat. And that's another thing. I forgot the hat. That's a problem I had to figure out later. But I was so focused in making the bunny so fluffy and making the cat seem like he was actually holding the bunny. So then I ended up flipping it and I was in awe because I really didn't like how it looked flipped and the bunny looked as if its ears were falling off its head. So then I ended up trying to adjust the arm. Honestly, it was tedious and I really didn't like doing that. Then here was when I noticed the hat problem. I started to try to fix it and it ended up a bit bad. It's fine. So then I tried a technique I saw in a random video that said to blur the sketch. That didn't end up working with me, so I unblurred it and started blocking in the flat colors. I don't usually do that because I don't have a very painterly style. Later I went on to add line art because it just looked terrible. For some reason, meanwhile when I turned the sketch off, I wanted so much to turn it back on or to just leave the sketch on until the last minute because it just kept looking wrong. So I decided to just keep on going and eventually it was gonna look perfect. If only I had known it wasn't gonna look perfect. So I went on to the face and the teeth was really complicated because they didn't match up with the sketch. So that was something I'd have to fix later. And then I started blocking in the background because the bunny was going to be a light shade of blue to contrast with all the reds and blacks. So I really wanted the bunny to like pop out of the image and be its own self. Now I decided to add line art. Finally, the cat looks so much better. I'm glad I did that to the eyes. If not, I would have gone crazy. I didn't want to make completely black line art, but at the end I had to, because if not, it didn't stand out of the background. I ended up changing the background to a deep, very deep blood red, so the black would stand out just a little bit. So after that, I decided to keep on going with the cat, and like I thought, hey, he has lines on his face. Let's just keep that for the whole drawing. So I decided to add texture, I guess, and lines onto his coat, and I forgot to add it to the bow tie, and I never ended up adding it, but now I kind of regret it. Although, yeah. Meanwhile, we see myself drawing line art. The dimensions had to be 1,000 times 1,000 and 72 dpi for the resolution. You also had to record the time lapse. I'll show it at the end. The time lapse is so that they can see you didn't cheat and trace, and so that they can see that it isn't like AI replicated and stuff. So I also wanted to go with this idea because I really love cats, and I think they're majestic and beautiful. Although also sometimes they may be a bit cruel and play with their food. I've seen it, don't ask. So then I started going on with some of my favorite parts of the whole drawing. I started to shade. Now, I love shading because it gives like a whole emotion and a vibe to it, and it just makes it really like environmental, and I feel like it's one of the parts that gives it the most personality of the drawing, but that's just me. Here you can see that I actually added the lines to the coat and to the cat's face. So I wanted the bunny to be really fluffy, so I added an extra one and blurred it all out. I was using multiply layers for the whole thing so that it would look really nice and fit with each other, although I did have to change the color a bit. Here I added the hard shading. Now the hard shading is like my favorite part of the whole thing. I was in the middle of using cell shading or painterly shading or whatever, but I decided I was just gonna use what I usually use, both. So I tried to add light to the bow tie, but it just kept looking wrong. So I left it in the eyes and left a glimmer. I wanted the cat to look like a bit cruel. I know it's kind of sad, but yeah. At the end, I felt like the picture was missing something, so I added a frame because I was also missing layers. The time lapse can be between 15 seconds and 1 minute, so that's pretty short. Although it's extremely quick and it shows everything, so it works out fine. Thanks for watching to the end, and I really appreciate you for doing that. Bye!